As you see right here, my total P&L for October is $350, and I'm gonna break down all my trades. It's crazy because I only took 3 trading days this whole month, and that is crazy because this goes to show you less is more. I only took 3 trading days and I'm up. I had a 100% win rate if you're just talking about the trading days, and that's just crazy. Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. I am gonna break down all my trades in October. I only had 3 trading days, and I do have all my live trades for this month, and I'm gonna show you guys why less is more, and also why October has been a very slow month. A lot of traders say that they just been doing bad, and the price action is just very choppy because we are at all-time highs, and when we're at all-time highs, the price action is just not great because there's nothing to trade when there's no levels. New levels are forming every single day, so it's very hard to trade, right? And in the past, I always say I have struggles trading the all-time highs, and guess what? This month we finally beat it. We finally am profitable. The craziest thing is this $350 is the most profitable month I had for this year, and this $350 right here beats the biggest losses I had for the months. I think in January I had about 350, like just under $350 of losing, or just like my losses. That's just great, right? You want your winners, you want your months to be bigger than your losing months, and finally I have done it here, even though I only took 3 trading days, which is just insane. So first I'm gonna break down my trades, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm gonna do next month. And there's a lot of big changes coming up, and I'm excited to move forward and just keep grinding. We start off October 2nd. I did take multiple trades. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, and they're all just break even though they're like small profits. I don't really count this, but I still have to count it because they're part of my system. I still took the trades and I have to just add it to my P&L. I'm just not going to just not add it because I did stupid things, right? As long as I traded, I had to put it in my P&L, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to show you guys all my trades. I'm not going to just lie to you guys and just put fake numbers up here. I am going to go to my session recaps, and I'm going to go scroll all the way down to October 2nd, and I'm going to show you the charts. We go to the 30-minute chart, and right currently we are all-time highs, and like I said, it's hard to trade all-time highs because there's no level above this level other than just a couple wicks or 1 wick above the all-time highs, and I trade a break and retest, right? So I would like a break over the level. My morning analysis for this day was that I liked how there was an all-time highs right here, right there on the ES. I wanted a break, and I thought this could be the retest for a long. The thing is, the market is already above the all-time high level, and this is the break and retest, right? But for me, I like intraday break and retest, and October has really solidified what I really want to look for, and I'm just like fully locked in on what my rules are. But for this day was the biggest learning lesson I had in October, and that is why I became profitable, and that's why I've been winning trades, because I learned from this day. My strategy is the break and retest. This is the break, this is the retest, and it just failed to hold the level properly. But although it did go up, this break and retest is not what I like looking for. And although it does work, it's just not what I like looking for. And then we go to the 2-minute time frame. Right here is a pre-market high that I marked out, and then this is all-time high right here. And like what I was saying was that I want a break and retest. So this was going to be the break, this is the retest of the all-time highs, and I was trying to take it for a long. In the morning we just sold off, and I was like, okay, we were retesting the all-time highs, it's holding, and I think I can take a trade. But the ES right here, it's just weak and it's rejecting the previous day's highs, but I still take the short. And I got in multiple times here, and I just kept going in and out, and I just couldn't trust my process. If I did actually stay in the trade, I would have lost. All right, here's a live trade. This is the break and retest that I was looking for, and I did take it multiple times. I only have about 3 recordings, I believe. There's nothing much to it, honestly. And I also did change the dollar amount to ticks because I didn't like looking at the P&L. Maybe that affected me, so I just changed it to ticks so far. So I don't actually know how much I'm actually up or down, but all I know from seeing this number, since it's red, I'm actually down. I'm looking at the ES, and I just see that it's weak. It's rejecting previous highs, and that it can just fall back down. So the ES is looking weak, but I still took the trade. And then I'm looking at the NASDAQ, and I just don't know about the trade. I just can't trust my system right now. I just keep getting in and out, and that's mainly what I did. We are not even up that much, and then I moved my stop loss to break even because I was just scared. I couldn't trust my process, so I didn't want to lose money. But that just goes to show you that I'm not trusting my process. I'm not following the system. I'm just doing random things at this point. And I put my stop loss right here, but the level was actually right here, and I'm just doing random stuff again. Here's the next trade. I just get in again, and I just do the same thing again. I get in, and then I don't like it, and then I just sell out for no reason. And it hasn't even done anything so far. So that was October 2nd. I ended up coming up with $15 because I was just like selling out in the profit. And after this day, I had to really just look at my trading and just understand what the fuck am I even doing. And this is when I implemented new rules. I added alerts on my trading. I said I'm only going to take a break and retest intraday, and not just a retest, because there is no break right here. This is not a break. This is just a retest, and then that's like a pullback retest, right? It's not a break. If this was a break, it'll be a short, and then if it's a break for the longs, it'll be a break above this level. So since we're inside this zone, I can't take a trade. That's how I'm trading right now. If it's in a range, I don't take the trade. I only take a trade outside of these boxes. That's what I do now. I only take intraday break and retests. And I said that multiple times in my videos. I said it for many months that I like intraday break and retests, but I told myself also that these could work, but I just gotta like play around with it. If I play around with it and I just keep not focusing on my setup, what's actually working, then I'm just gonna do random things again and just keep losing for no reason. So now I'm trying to simplify my strategy and just only take what I like, only take one system, one strategy, one shot, and just do what I have to do. I don't care if I don't take a trade. I don't care if I don't take a trade in a week. I don't care if I don't take a trade in 2 weeks. I'm just following my system. I'm waiting for the right time to strike, and that's my system. Because I know what works. I know that if I keep doing all these random stupid things, I'm going to lose. So I know I have the proper risk reward. I know I have the proper system, the proper strategy. So all I have to do is just wait. Breaking down my second last trading day, this is October 8th. And I did win here. I won 144.50. It was a break and retest long, and I'm going to show you guys on the 30-minute time frame right here. First things first, I do mark up my previous day's highs, which is the green dashed lines, and my previous day's lows is right here, the red dashed lines. I mark it out on both markets every single day, and then I pair up supply and demand levels. I do mark out pre-market levels if it aligns with my supply and demand levels, and that is what I did. So I had this pre-market high level on the Nasdaq, and also it was the Monday lows right here. So that is what I had. And I also had this all-time high area right here, and I knew that this could have been the break and retest in the bigger time frames. And my game plan for this day was that if I did see a pre-market high break and also a Monday lows, I'll take it for a break and retest long, and that is what I did. The ES also had similar levels, but the Monday lows was just off a bit, and that is why I took the Nasdaq, because it was just more clear and it was more absolute. Going into the morning, what I saw was simply my strategy was a break and retest, and I just took my 3-to-1 right there and I just walked away. And we can see that ES was just struggling. It was still under the pre-market high area, but I just liked the volume on the Nasdaq, so I took the Nasdaq instead, and I did win in that trade. All right, here's the live trade. What I see right here is the break right here, and then it's retesting this level, and I'm just waiting for a bit. I'm waiting to see how it retests the level, and then I'll take my long position after it breaks above these highs right here. And that I'm risking almost about 30 points. I usually risk around 30 points, and that is what I did. Also, there was a pretty good volume, so I did take it a bit late like that. I take the trade, and the risk was a bit more, I believe. I think it's still below 30 points, but it was a 3-to-1 trade at the end of the day. I'm gonna fast forward this trade, and then I'll break down my last trading day. We go to October 20th, and I did win $190.50. This is a 30-minute time frame, and the previous week we did have a big zone because there was like Trump tariffs, so the market just dumped like crazy. But then the whole week after that, we had a whole sideways action, and when we have a whole zone like that, I don't take a trade because my trade is a break and retest, and it looks very choppy. And since my strategy is a break and retest, I wait for breaks of the key levels, breaks of market structure, and then I take a trade. So the whole week I did not take a trade in that week. And then on Monday, when it did actually finally break, I did a retest and I got the long for 3-1. Here's a live trade, and we do see a nice break above the market. I'm waiting for it to retest because right here I can't just take a trade right here. It's like chasing the level. I wanted to like retest it a bit, show me that it's actually gonna hold. And I just don't know if the ES is gonna hold. If the ES doesn't hold right here, the trade might not be as good. So that's why I'm giving it more time, trying to see if it holds. So at this point, I could take the ES or I could take the NASDAQ, but since the ES is not looking as good and I like the bigger break on the NASDAQ, I did take the NASDAQ for the retest long. I risked it about 30 points right here, and that is what I did. And once it got above, I took my trade right there, and the rest is history. I could say that I did take it a bit early because it's still retesting the level as it goes down, but as long as my stop loss is just below the level, then I'm good. And that is what I did. I can't get scared. I just had to play off my stop loss and my TP and just follow the process, follow my rules, and just stick to the game plan. If I just sell out like what I did earlier in the month, just get in and out, then I'll lose my trades. All right, I'm gonna fast forward this trade and then I'll give you guys my review of this month and what I'm gonna do moving forward. I do also want to talk a little bit about just October, like the price action itself, and that many people are struggling to trade in October because we're at all-time highs. And like I said in my previous video, it's hard to trade all-time highs because there's not much levels to form in the bigger time frames. And we just don't know if it's going to keep going up or it's going to go down. There's not much markets, there's not much levels to actually play off of. And that is why it's hard, but people just like to take a lot of trades. They think the price action is the same and they just keep losing. That's what I used to do in the past, but now I'm being more patient, I'm being more disciplined, and I'm only taking my setups. And my setups don't happen often anyways. Since my setups don't happen often, and since we're in all-time highs area, I take even less trades, but I know that I can't take a trade randomly, and that if I just do, I'm just gonna lose like the rest of the people who are losing a lot. I know the price action is not gonna be the greatest, and I know that I just have to take my strategy only. So if I don't see my strategy, I'm not going to take a trade. So all I do is just be patient. I take no trades and I just wait for the opportunity. I'm not taking a lot of trades. I'm not forcing a lot of trades like many other traders who are losing this month. All right, as you see, my P&L is $350 for October. I'm very happy with this because my win rate is 100%. If you're just talking about trading days, my risk reward is 3-1. I'm very happy with this because it's the best it has ever been. I'm very happy with my progress because I'm being more disciplined. I'm staying patient. I'm just only taking my strategy only. Although the first trading day in this month was really bad, but it really opened my eyes to really understand my mistakes and just add new rules to make sure that I do better. That is what I did. I became profitable for the end of this month. Moving forward, there's going to be a lot of big changes because I'm actually going to move to a live account. I'm not going to paper trade anymore. It's been a while. I've been paper trading for 3 months and I feel like my consistency is a lot better. I'm very confident in my strategy now. I'm very confident in my system because I know I just gotta stick to it. I know I just gotta stick to the process. Moving forward, I'm actually not going to move to my live account. I'm actually going to use a prop firm. I'm gonna use Top Step for the next month and I'll see how it goes. I heard a lot about prop firms in the past and I never thought I was actually gonna go into one. Now when I think about it, prop firms are good when you're being consistent because that is when you're able to leverage the prop firms. That's when you're able to leverage their accounts so that you're not using your own capital. You're still using your own capital, but you're not using so much, but you actually get a bigger account. You're actually able to leverage their money and use it for your own. Here's the Top Step, and I am gonna get the 50K account, which is about $50 a month, but that is USD. So if I do move it to CAD, that's about $70 per month. And I am gonna take the 50K Combine Challenge, and we'll see how it goes. I'm very excited to finally start getting the things, starting to get the ball rolling, starting to go back to my live account, live money, and not just only paper trading. I am going to start the Top Step in November, which is basically the next trading week. And yeah,